Hi everyone and welcome to Felix's Thoughts. So I'm currently sat in my room isolating with COVID-19, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. And I thought I would do the totally original idea of setting up my own podcast/YouTube video series called Felix's Thoughts. In this, I plan to discuss whatever is on my mind, be it politics, mental health, current affairs, chats with mates, discussion on certain topics, whatever is on my mind really. There might be even a bit of banter thrown in from time to time, so worth sticking around. So for my first video, I thought I would start on the political front and recite a presentation I gave a few years ago on why university students should join a trade union. I've amended this slightly to cater for the current UK political climate, but most of what is discussed should still be applicable to this day. So, you're all going to be taking the step into adulthood by going into the workplace, and this isn't an easy step for anyone. But when you do land that dream graduate job that I'm sure you all will do, what if I could tell you could get better pay? How does better working conditions and more favourable working hours sound? If any of these appeal to you, then you should consider joining a trade union. When the term trade union is used, many people see them as being a thing of the past, or not even have any idea about what a trade union is. However, trade unions are simply a means of representing workers' interests. And while there is no denying union membership has declined since the peak years of the 1980s, in the current economic climate that is seeing the growth of insecure work, such as zero-hour contracts, there is much of a need now for trade unions, as there ever has been. Trade unions have helped to ensure us luxuries that we take for granted today, such as paid maternity leave, the 9-to-5 working hours, and even the weekend. Furthermore, union membership provides deals for individuals aren't available for their non-unionised counterparts, such as potential dental plans, free will writing services, life insurances, etc. Exploitation is running riot in the UK job market, with real wages dropping by a staggering 10% since the 2008 financial crisis. This is a joint worst drop of any country in Europe, with the other being Greece. Young people in this country suffer a disproportionate amount from exploitation, as employers know that they are grateful to even get a job, with young people being the demographic group with the highest unemployment rates, especially after the rise of the pandemic. Furthermore, the UK suffers from the largest inequality gap in Europe, and so there needs to be a counteracting force to this. This is partly to do with pro-austerity Conservative government and the neoliberal Labour government that came prior to this, that is based around free market capitalism. But this inequality gap can also be linked to the decline in trade union membership. With a Conservative Party that doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon, apart from maybe a potential party or two, combating exploitation isn't going to be achieved from within Westminster, and so needs to be combated from within organisations. So when you do go into the workplace, for you to help fight any exploitation that you may experience, you should all consider joining a trade union. When acting alone, you have little bargaining power. However, when working as part of a group in the form of collective action, the results are far more effective. By joining a trade union, you can enjoy the personal benefit the union membership brings. However, further down the line, when you've become more knowledgeable and well established, you could help contribute to the fight against exploitation of all workers in your union. In a dynamic, developing world with new markets constantly emerging, there may not be a specific trade union for your sector. In this case, you can always collaborate with your fellow employees and set one up yourselves. You can get information and support on doing this from bigger unions, such as the Industrial Workers of the World. This is a group that has helped aid the unionisation of Deliveroo. Trade union powers in fighting exploitation has been demonstrated in companies that use zero-hour contracts. This includes big names such as Sports Direct. The collective action has helped to ensure that Sports Direct's employees receive job contracts with guaranteed hours. More recently, we've seen the GMB successfully take on Uber, ensure that they have to legally recognise their workers as their employees. Of course, there are those who don't view trade unions in such high regard. Many people say that trade unions are a thing of the past, as well as many businesses stating that they have their own internal procedures for tackling various problems such as pay dispute. But those in trade unions simply do earn more than their non-unionised counterparts. This is especially true for young people in trade unions, with those aged 16 to 24 earning 39% more than their non-unionised colleagues. Trade unions provide a collective voice for the workers of any organisation. If a law has been breached, unions can provide free legal expertise. For example, if an employee was bullied by an employer, a trade union can provide free legal representation, which would otherwise cost thousands of pounds. And because of this expertise, it often results in better outcome for the employee. If one employee decides to go on strike because of a dispute, the likely outcome will be that the employee gets fired, and it won't have much of an impact on the operations of the business. Therefore, the old saying, strength in numbers, is never truer than with trade unions. If a significant number of employees were to go on strike instead, then the operations of a company will be disrupted at a cost for the business, meaning increased bargaining power for the employees. Another argument that is made is that there is less of a need now for trade unions because we live in a globalized world with more regulations to counteract exploitation. This argument about globalization helping to protect workers' rights is unfounded. Many companies have used globalization, in fact, to exploit workers. This is because many migrants are prepared to work for less, which has been problematic for trade unions, as migrants have been accused of undercutting wages. One sector this has been evident in is UK farming, which is heavily reliant on Eastern European labour, which is made possible by freedom of movement as part of the EU membership. This has seen concerns arise for the sector because of Brexit, but with strong unions it can help to ensure that both migrants as well as UK citizens are paid a decent wage, as it shouldn't be the case that migrants do jobs for a wage that British workers wouldn't do. Therefore, there are many arguments made against trade unions, but none of them really hold up when analysed, and the benefits of trade union membership largely outweigh the drawbacks. By being part of a trade union, you and your fellow colleagues can help form a collective voice when there's a dispute with your employer. The cost of a membership is around £15 per month for full-time employees, the cost of about a pint a week. Some of you, this may seem like quite a lot, but the benefits that membership provides, both tangible and non-tangible, far exceeds the expenditure. You can expect greater pay and can effectively fight to improve working conditions in an organisation which, in turn, can improve both your overall happiness and job satisfaction. Furthermore, you can reap the rewards of union membership, which can bring such as reduced rate of both car as well as home insurance. Sometimes, if you are fortunate, you can even benefit from cheaper holidays or discounted stay vacations. I expect some of you will be done with education after university and are in the workplace when you're in the workplace. But if you aren't, many trade unions also provide free training courses. Beyond the personal benefits, you can also stand up for those suffering under the stress of a job that barely makes ends meet, as everyone should be entitled to a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. With most of you likely to be working in the private rather than public sector, you can help to drive an increase in the private sector's union membership, which currently stands at a mere 14%. By doing this, you can help to ensure that the employee's voice is effectively heard within an organisation. The benefits of trade union membership are seemingly endless. However, they are massively underutilised, especially within the private sector, which most of you will end up in. But that gives you the opportunity to lead the process of unionisation. Therefore, when leaving here today, I implore you to all join a trade union when the time comes. I hope you realise now that contrary to what you may have heard, trade unions are as important today as they have been for many a year. Thank you. So that concludes the end of the first video in Felix's Thoughts. I hope you have enjoyed. Obviously quite a serious topic area, but going forward, should be some more lighthearted stuff coming your way. So if you did like, then please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time.